Welcome back, Minifans. So today is not going to be a traditional episode of You Make Me Sick. This is actually going to be the rankings for the first annual Minifan Cornhole tournament taking place this weekend in Plymouth, Massachusetts. So the way I came up with these rankings, it's fucking ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. It's completely nonsensical, a bit random, which hopefully would prove no bias here as far as ranking any team above another one. I used three criteria. First criteria, I took each team name and I stuck it into ChatGPT, and I asked ChatGPT to rank these teams based on creativity, first to last. I then took those rankings 1 through 16 and I assigned them point totals based on however ChatGPT liked the name. So first place gets 16 points, second 15, and so on. Second, I randomly assigned a infectious disease to each team based on the first letter of their team name, excluding the word the. If there wasn't a disease for the team names, such as like the 420 boys, nothing really for F. I just used the next letter in the alphabet, so E would have been chosen next. I then looked at deaths attributed to each of those infectious diseases over the course of the past year, or whatever the most recent data was over the course of a year. And then whoever had the most deaths gets the most points. Once again, 1 through 16 are assigned. More deaths, more points. Least deaths, less points. The third I kind of just wanted to randomly think about what other competition could kind of relate to cornhole. It's a real test of fortitude, especially with Minifans. I imagine there's going to be a lot of beverages being had that day. Depending on how long the tournament lasts, could really take a lot of guts to get through this thing. And I think a Twinkie eating competition probably have similar guts needed to actually get through. That intestinal fortitude to drive through, probably be a lot of vomiting, similar to what we might see this weekend. So I looked at each team. I took their team name into account and also kind of looked at just the team members' bios on Twitter and kind of formulated how many Twinkies I think each team member could eat. Then whoever can eat the most Twinkies obviously gets the most points. 16 for the most, 1 for the least. That's the three criteria. So, without further ado, let's rank these teams, all right? Coming in at number 16, oddly fitting, the team name is the Underdogs. There's a rumor that the Underdogs is actually one of Julie's burners, the actual name being used with the Underdogs, which happens to be, hold on, I got it right here. Where are you, motherfucker? Good friend Dave. So, we'll see if that's true or not. Regardless, ranking number 16, coming in last place. So the Underdogs, they get Yersinia pestis, which is actually the plague, the bubonic plague, which at one point in time wiped out a lot of the world's population, but now is not so deadly. More so in Africa than everywhere else. But only found about 160 deaths attributed to that most recently, so not a lot. That is good for 15th place, so 2 points for that. Also, ChatGPT did not like the name the Underdogs for whatever reason. Came in 16th, only 1 point there. And then, if this truly is Julie, I don't see her eating a lot of Twinkies in any kind of competition. She just seems, it seems like that might be above her. So maybe if she really tried, could get down like 18 Twinkies. But in this competition, that would come in last place. So only 1 point there. So really just a total of 5 points, giving her that 16th place ranking, or 16th seed, if you would have it. So let's move on to our next competitor. So coming in the 15th seed, we have the Grillers. So the Grillers got gonorrhea. Yeah, sucks. Here in the U.S., you get gonorrhea, you're probably not going to die, but there's other parts of the world where you certainly could. 2,300 deaths, which is good enough for 12th place deaths in this competition. Get you 5 points. ChatGPT, for whatever reason, didn't think it was super original. Came in 15th on their list, so only 2 points. This is BioDude 2020 and Chris and Methuen. It seems like they could be pretty good at eating Twinkies. I don't know. It looks like Chris Methuen, though, is going to be playing double duty. I don't know if he's playing for both the 420 boys and for the Grillers, But if he's kind of splitting between both teams, I don't know how many Twinkies he's going to be able to put away, you know? His ability might be hindered and split between both teams. Regardless of that, I bet they could easily put away about 19 Twinkies between the two of them. But still, that's only good enough for 15th place and 2 points here. Total wise, 9 points for this team. So the Grillers, you're the 15th seed. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Next up, we have the 14th seed. This is the Bad Boys. So the Bad Boys is at House of Pain 85 and Subaru Steve. They got botulism. So botulism only kills about 100 people per year. Not a lot. That's actually last in our rankings. That's 16th in deaths attributed to. Only getting you 1 point. ChatGPT kind of liked the name, though. That was 6th place. You got 11 points for that. As far as eating Twinkies, House of Pain, he's got a vast knowledge of how much hard work and training professional wrestlers need. I bet he's got the mentality going into this, almost like Andre the Giant when he crushed 156 beers at one sitting. I bet he could put away a decent amount of Twinkies. Subaru Steve, on the other hand, don't know. He might be an early puker, might not get through a lot of those Twinkies. I'm going to say 28 Twinkies for this team. That gives them 10th place overall, 7 points, but only for a total of 19 points. So 19 points, that gets you guys the 14th seed. Next up, the 13th seed. So the 13th seed, it is at Tim Riggles. It is the Men. That's the name of his team. You got measles. So measles kills about 134,000 people per year still. That's per the CDC. That's 5th in deaths for this competition. Gets him a total of 12 points for that. ChatGPT, didn't really like the name very much. 14th place, get you 3 points for that. As far as eating Twinkies, I don't know. I think that the Men could do a pretty good job. Tim seems like he does pretty good under stress. Didn't really a guy to back down. I think even faced with the possibility of some kind of altered mental status from hyperglycemia, he would push through. I'd give this team about 25 Twinkies coming into this competition. That's good enough for 12th, get him about 5 points. Unfortunately, total for that team, we're looking at 20 points altogether. So, how about the 12th seed? All right, 12th seed, we've got the group chat. So the group chat is at Jay Sarago, and it's at Tom Dog. The group chat got Giardia. So Giardia kills about 500,000 people per year. That's actually high enough for 4th in the death total here. That'll get you 13 points. ChatGPT gave you 12th place for this. They didn't think it's super original. You got 7 points. As far as eating Twinkies, so Jay Sarago, he orders meatloaf at restaurants, so he knows how to consume, these dense, meaty slices of heaven. I bet he would destroy some Twinkies. Tom Dog, though, I'm not so sure about. Didn't see a lot on his Twitter profile. Didn't see him being a huge eater. I'm thinking Jay Sarago might have to carry this team. That being said, give him 22 Twinkies, which is only 13th place. Get him 4 points. But as far as a point total for the group chat, they get 24 points total. So there were a couple of ties here. This happened to be one of them. So the next team, the Woodcocks, which is our friend the Birdman, scored the same amount of total points, 24, as the group chat. I just did a good old-fashioned coin flip to see who'll get the higher seed. Turns out that the Birdman came out on top here. So for the 11th seed here, we have the Woodcocks. Woodcocks got West Nile virus, which doesn't really kill a lot of people. 165 per the CDC last year. Only good enough for 3 points as far as our death count. It was 14th in the least number of deaths there. ChatGPT, 10th place in ChatGPT, you got 7 points for that. The Birdman, though, I think the Birdman probably loves a good Twinkie. I can just picture him on a crisp autumn day. He's out birding, takes a break on a nice stump, unwraps a couple of golden Twinkies, and goes to town. Especially if he's been smoking a little bit of the doob. I could see him definitely getting down on some Twinkies. 40 Twinkies for the Birdman. I have confidence in him. That's third place in this competition. He get about 14 points for that. But as I said earlier, only 24 points total, but gives him the 11th seed in this competition. 10th seed. So the 10th seed, there was a team initially that pulled out. They were entitled the Jaguars. So being lazy, I just put at Tim and Canton and at Blind Mike's Penis are going to be a team, but they didn't give me a team name. So everything that I had for the Jaguars, they get to inherit. The Jaguars got Lassa Fever, so I guess Tim and Blind Mike's Penis's team, they get Lassa Fever. Kills about 5,000 people per year. That's 11th in deaths. Gets them a total of 6 points. ChatGPT, this was a team with the name was a Jaguars. ChatGPT gave it 9th place. It got 8 points for that. As far as eating Twinkies, let's see. I have a feeling, Tim and Ken, post-heart attack, probably not eating a ton of Twinkies. Don't have a ton of confidence that he's going to be somebody to put him down. But Blind Mike's Penis is an appendage of Blind Mike. That being said, I think that, we all know Blind Mike probably loves a Twinkie or two. So I have confidence that two of them could probably put down about 35 Twinkies in one sitting. That's good enough for 6th place in this competition, getting them 11 points total for that. So at the end of the day, 10th seed for Tim and Blind Mike's Penis. They end up with a total of 25 points. Next up is a team that when I initially started doing the legwork for this, they were TBD. That was the name of the team. And this is actually Andrew Augustus's team. He has since changed the name of the team to Mutts Rusty Trombone, which is a fantastic name. And quite fittingly, Mutts Rusty Trombone got tetanus. So tetanus, 35,000 deaths per year. That is good enough for 8th in deaths for a competition. That gets 9 points. ChatGPT, like I said initially, this was TBD was the name of the team. ChatGPT didn't like that. That was 13th place, good enough for 4 points. As far as eating Twinkies, I could see Andrew Augustus being a sneaky underdog here. I have a feeling that he's kind of unassuming, seems like a nice enough guy, but I bet when it gets down to it, he could crush some Twinkies. I'm going to say 38 of them, actually, which would be good enough for 4th place in the Twinkie eating contest. 13 points, giving him a total of 26 points and that number 8 seed. Is that number 8? No, that's the number 9 seed. I'm sorry. The number 8 seed actually goes to Hello Richard. Hello Richard is at RCCog and at Rich M19. Hello Richard got Haemophilus influenza, or the H flu. That causes about 30,000 deaths per year. That's good enough for 9th in our death count category. Gets them 8 points. ChatGPT gave them 11th place. That gets 8 points as well. When it comes to eating Twinkies, these guys look like they know how to have a good time. Tear it up a little bit. I bet they could crush some Twinkies. The other thing, too, the name itself makes me think of Richard Simmons. Richard Simmons was the original Twink. So who better to kind of give a little motivation to this team and inspire them than Hello Richard Simmons. So this team, I'm thinking they could eat about 36 Twinkies in one sitting. That's 5th place in the Twinkie eating competition, which would be good enough for 12 points, giving them a total of 28 points for that 8th seed. 7th seed, all right, we have TreeTech. TreeTech, this is at CFlex 20. And let's see who else he added another teammate to. TreeTech is, where are you, TreeTech? And at FlexMe4. So at TreeTech, they got tuberculosis. So believe it or not, tuberculosis, it still kills 1.5 million people per year. That was first in our list for our death count. Good enough for 16 points. ChatGPT, kind of like the name. Came in 7th ChatGPT-wise, good enough for 10 points. As far as eating Twinkies, so CFlex 20 has Homer Simpson on his Twitter profile. And I know there's an episode of The Simpsons. My asshole neighbor is outside with a fucking leaf blower in the middle of goddamn summer. Motherfucker. Alright, bear with me, Minifans. Jesus Christ. Anyway. Alright, so, TreeTech. So CFlex, he's got Homer Simpson on his Twitter profile. Now, there is a Simpsons episode where Homer actually meets Twinkie the Kid and squeezes him to death. Now, I don't know if somehow subliminally CFlex is kind of channeling Homer Simpson in this competition. It is a possibility. I don't know about his partner, though. That being said, I'm going to give them 21 Twinkies. You know, this could or could not be something that works out for them. 14th place in the contest, 3 points total. But they're still 7th seed with this. Their total number of points is... Where are we? Motherfuckers. TreeTech, it's 29 points. Alright, so we're really getting up there now. Higher seeds. The 6th seed in this competition is the Dragon Slayers. That is at McFussDaddy, as well as at Box Eating Dad. So the Dragon Slayers, they get dengue fever. So dengue fever kills about 21,000 people per year. That's 10th in deaths for our competition here. Gets them 7 points. ChatGPT loved the name. 2nd place for that, total of 15 points. As far as Twinkie eating, let's see. So a McFussDaddy, he knows how to make delicious food, right? I bet he likes to eat it too. And Twinkies are pretty delicious, right? So I could see McFussDaddy being able to crush some Twinkies. And then Box Eating Dad, well, you know, Twinkies, they may not be as delicious as a well-groomed box. But if his name is any indication of his ability to eat, I bet he could probably do a pretty good job with eating Twinkies. As Dragon Slayers as well, you know, I could see them putting in a hard day's work trying to track down that Targaryen broad. That'd work up an appetite. So 32 Twinkies for these guys. That would be 8th in the competition, giving them 9 points. But for that number 6 seed where they're at right now, their point total is 30. So not too shabby. Number 5. Number 5 on the list, we have Hog Muffin. Hog Muffin is at Hogman the Intruder. It's probably Intruder, I would guess. I have no. And then we have at all the Muffins. So Hog Muffin got hantavirus. Hantavirus, it's got a huge mortality rate, but doesn't really kill. Not a lot of people get infected by it. 830 deaths per year, according to the WHO. That would be 13th in our death count, not very high. 4 points for that. ChatGPT, number 5 on our ChatGPT ranking list, gets him 12 points, which, I think it should be higher than that. It's a sweet name. Alright, so Hog Muffin. So what do we think these guys could do? So we know that the Hogman has actually been in a competitive eating competition with Minifans. He was actually part of the Steve Robinson hot dog eating competition. He did not win that, but just being in that gives him experience in this type of setting. I have faith he could actually do pretty well. At all the Muffins, if anybody isn't aware, he brings all the mayhem. That's all I gotta say. So the guy's intense. And I bet he could tear up some Twinkies too. This team also sounds, Hog Muffin sounds like a delicious baked good. So I'm giving them pretty high rankings on this one. 2nd place in the competition for eating Twinkies with a total of 44 Twinkies. That gets them 15 points. So that number 5 seed for Hog Muffin, their complete point total overall was 31. So not bad. So now we get into the top 4 seeds here. So number 4, the Mugwise. The Mugwise get malaria. Malaria still kills about 619,000 people every year. That's per the WHO. That's 3rd in our death count. Good enough for 14 points. ChatGPT, they like the name the Mugwise. They must be a Gremlins fan. They came in 4th on ChatGPT. That is good for 13 points. So this is the at Channel Zero guys. I tried to find a conspiracy related to Twinkies to see if Twinkies in any way, shape, or form might influence how they do in a competition to eat it. Couldn't really find one. Not really a lot about Twinkies and conspiracies out there. But as Mugwise, we all know that they can't be eating food after midnight. So that would kind of cut down their ability to actually consume. Now I know this is going to be a daytime competition, but might curb their eating habits a little bit. So I could see them eating about 27 Twinkies. That's 11th place in the competition, gives them 6 points in the Twinkie eating. But that number 4 seed, their total number of points, 33. So pretty good. Next up, the number 3 seed. So the number 3 seed is the Corn Stars. The Corn Stars got cholera. So cholera, 95,000 deaths per year. That's good enough for 6th in our death count. That gets them 11 points. ChatGPT loved the name. So ChatGPT gave them we get 16 points. ChatGPT, first place in ChatGPT. So 16 points for that. What about the team? So the Corn Stars, so it's at Minifan Laura. And it's also Robinson B&B. So Minifan Laura, you look at her Twitter, she seems very active, knows how to work up an appetite. And what's better than a spongy, sugar-filled snack like Twinkies after a good workout, right? Robinson B&B didn't know. There wasn't really a Twitter account linked to it. No idea who this is. Really a true wild card. Their team name, the Corn Stars, though, it makes me think of like porn for vegophiles, people have sex with vegetables, the kind you eat, not the type of people in comas. So I could see this activity also working up a strong appetite. I could see this team putting away about 29 Twinkies in one sitting in a competition. That would be 9th in the Twinkie eating competition, good enough for 8 points. So the Corn Stars got a total of 35 points. This was another tie. We had 2 teams with 35 points. They lost the coin flip on that one, so the 3 seed goes to the Corn Stars. The number 2 seed here, the 420 Boys. So the 420 Boys, it's at Chris and Methuen, and it is also, so hold on one second, and at PJ Will 24. So we all know the 420 Boys. I think they're going to do pretty well in this. They got E. coli as far as a disease. So E. coli still kills about 63,000 people a year. That was good enough for 7th in our death ranking. 10 points for that. ChatGPT came in 8th. There was 9 points for that. But in a Twinkie eating contest, all my money would go on the 420 Boys. We've all had the munchies before. We all know how crazy we can get when we're looking for something to snack on. What's better than a Twinkie, right? It's got sugar. It's light. I mean, come on. Nothing more powerful than the munchies that can compel us to eat absolutely absurd amounts of food. I could see them tearing through box upon box of Twinkies. I'm going to say 55 Twinkies for the 420 Boys, which would be first place in this competition. 16 points. So, as I said, their point total altogether is 35, tied with the Corn Stars, but the 420 Boys won the coin flip. Leaving just our number 1 seed. So the number 1 seed for the Minifan Cornhole tournament, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's the Axperts. So the Axperts, that's at B Persisted and at Oh Snap It's Dante. The Axperts got AIDS. Yeah. So with the AIDS, 630,000 people have died, or do die each year. Still, that was in 2022, I guess this number's from. So yeah, people still dying from AIDS. First, so that was 2nd in our death count, actually, to tuberculosis, but they get 15 points for that. ChatGPT ranking, like the name, number 3, so 14 points for that. And I think this team could be pretty decent at eating Twinkies, No one should ever underestimate women when it comes to eating Twinkies. See Molly Schuyler, if you would, a competitive eater who's been known to eat steaks in 70-ounce steaks in 5 minutes. It's nuts. Anyway, also this team name, it shines visions of hungry lumberjacks looking for a snack at the end of the day, and I think lumberjacks would love Twinkies. So I could easily see them eating 33 Twinkies in one sitting. That's 7th place in the Twinkie eating contest, good enough for 10 points. And their point total kind of blew everyone away, just as far as their total points. They had 39, so 4 points better than even the 2nd seed. So, there it is. There's your seeding for this. I'm sure maybe I'll have a lot of feedback. Who the fuck knows if anybody will actually listen to this. I'll put everything on Twitter. I will do that hopefully the next day or two. And you can critique and you can give feedback, all that fun stuff. But I'll run down the list one more time. So first seed, the Experts. Second seed, 420 Boys. Third seed, Corn Stars. Fourth seed, the Mugwise. Fifth seed, Hog Muffin. Sixth seed, the Dragon Slayers. Seventh seed is TreeTech. Eighth seed, Mutts Rusty Trombone. The ninth seed is Hello Richard. 10th seed it's Tim and Canton and Mike's Blind Penis. No real team name assigned. The 11th seed is the Woodcocks. 12th seed is the Group Chat. 13th seed is the Men. 14th seed is the Bad Boys. 15th seed is the Grillers. 16th seed is the Underdogs. So a true underdog. I'm hoping somebody may assign odds to these teams. I don't know, Montante, you probably don't listen. I'll kind of tag you on Twitter. You seem like you might be decent at doing this. Anybody else who's a degenerate gambler, feel free to contribute. Anyway, everybody, have a good weekend. Enjoy the tournament. Enjoy the live show. Don't know who my money's going to go on, but I think if I had to bet, it's either going to be Hog Muffin or, boy, oh boy. Hog Muffin or the 420 Boys. That's who I'm betting on. Anyway, till next time, take it easy. Remember to wash your hands.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Poop again! He called the shit poop!